everybody. I am so glad to be back. It is a new year and I want to wish everybody a happy new year. I want to wish everybody so many good things, so many blessings from our God, and I want you guys to have the best year ever. I know that I'm planning on doing that and having a really good year. 2017 was really good and I want 2018 to be even better for me and of course for you guys. Today I come to you with my very first impressions video. I've never done a first impressions video, and to be truly honest, it was one of my guilty pleasures, like to watch first impressions. And then I'm like, well, you know, first impressions are kind of tricky because you might have a really good first impression and then use the product for a while and then be like, ew, I don't like that product, or really be like, oh yes, I love that product. So I just thought I'd try a first impressions on my channel. Please let me know if you like these types of videos. I still watch first impressions all the time and I love it when people follow up with the first impressions. So I am going to do that with this video. I am going to do my first impressions on these products, and then I will give you a follow-up, or I will do a follow-up on the description box. I'll tell you how these worked. So the products that I am going to do a first impressions on today are the Rimmel Lasting Finish 25-Hour Breathable Long Wear Foundation and the concealer that goes with that foundation. I thought this was new because it is the very first time I see it. I bought it at Walgreens. Right now they're having a sale for Rimmel where you buy one and you get the other one half off. Also, Walgreens has a coupon for $3 off any Rimmel product. And so take advantage of that. I will be doing a video on things that I waited on, that I am glad I waited on, that I got for a lot less. I don't think that you should ever pay full price for makeup. I know I don't. I love makeup, but it tends to be expensive. So it's good to wait, but that's for another video. Anyway, I'm going to do the first impressions on these two and also on this palette. I had seen this palette before, but only online, and now I found it at my local Walgreens, and look at that. It's beautiful. You got your neutrals right here, you know, your typical warm shades. This color right here is screaming out to me. This blue is beautiful. This navy green, oh my gosh, this navy green, look at that. It reminds me of the green in the new, I don't know what it's called, I don't know the number of it. It's for, Morphe has a new big palette out and it has a navy green like that. And it reminds me of that. I'll put a picture of that Morphe palette up somewhere around here. Anyways, this palette is calling my name. I love my neutrals. I love my warm neutrals, love them. But I am now into more color, like I love color, so I am going to do a first impressions on that. I've already washed and primed my face. I used my NYX Hydra Touch primer, and I will put a picture of it right here. And I used my Smashbox pore filling primer. And so let's look at this. Let's see. The good thing about this, and I haven't used it, but I opened it. Actually, let me read you some of the claims from the Rimmel London website. This comes in 17 shades. This comes in 17 shades. It is not a bad shade range. You got your very fair, and then the deepest one is pretty deep. So it's a pretty good shade range. The claims aren't many. It says long wearing and lightweight skin perfecting foundation with medium coverage. I do like medium coverage, especially for like every day. It says light to medium coverage. Sorry about that car that just went by. Breathable skin technology that moisturizes for up to 25 hours. I have very dry skin, so something that tells me that it's going to hydrate my skin for 25 hours. Not that I will ever have a foundation on for 25 hours, but I'm all about that. This also has an SPF of 20, I believe. Yes, it has an SPF of 20. I have to be careful with SPF because I am allergic to SPF. So I have to be careful with that. Sometimes I have a reaction, sometimes I don't. And I will be doing a skincare video for dry skin, sensitive dry skin, allergy hives prone, and that will be coming. Okay, so the good thing that I like about this foundation is this humongous doe foot applicator. It reminds me of the Clinique Perfecting, I think it's called, Perfecting Foundation. It has a scent. And it also reminds me of the Tarte Shape Tape, of course, the concealer that has a big doe foot like that. And it also reminds me of the Neutrogena Hydro Boost foundation. So these are becoming very popular to have these big doe foot applicators, and I really like it. I used to have, I think they are discontinuing the other one, the other Rimmel 25-hour lasting, let me get this straight, the Rimmel lasting foundation, the one that was 25 hours. I will put a picture up here. That one, I used to love it, but the scent was so strong, I stopped using it because it would make me sneeze. This one has a similar scent, but not as strong as that one. Okay, I am going to go to application. I am going to speed this part up, and I will see you in a little bit. Okay, so that is one layer with a sponge. I usually always put my foundation on with a sponge, and I am trying to see if the sponge, it didn't really soak a lot of the product. I love this sponge. Is gonna be my favorites. I'm gonna film a favorites video that if it's up, I will link it down below. If not, be on the lookout for that. But I see that it is straight up light, low medium coverage with one layer. I can still see my little blemish that I have here. I can still see like my birthmarks. So I think it is lightweight though. It is lightweight. It does not feel tacky. My first impression of it is that it is a good foundation for every day. I think this is a good, if you like for a no makeup look, or if you don't like heavy foundations, or if you have mature skin. I have mature skin. If you have mature skin, this is a good one for every day. It's not going to emphasize wrinkles or anything like that. It's not, my skin is doing pretty good right now. It's pretty normal. So I am going to try and build this up a little bit with a brush. And I am going to use my Smashbox foundation brush. I really like this brush. I don't like this in the middle, but I don't need it right now. I am going to try and build this up. Okay, so with a brush, it is definitely a little bit more buildable. Let me clean my brush off. With a brush, it's definitely more buildable, but I don't think you'll ever get full coverage out of this foundation. Those are not the claims. So you're gonna get straight up medium, low medium coverage, which looks really pretty. I really like it. I thought this color soft beige was gonna be a little bit too light on me, but it's perfection. It looks like second skin. It looks like you just gave your skin, I don't know, a little bit of Photoshop, a little bit of, not Photoshop, a little bit of just your skin but better type thing. I am noticing, let me look at this real close. I am noticing that it is kind of hard to put into those nose crevices. Anyway, but I think it is a really, really good foundation. So my first impressions are, it is light to medium coverage, just like they said. It feels very lightweight, just like the claims claim. And I am liking it so far. Let's try the concealer. The concealer, I bought it in medium. I haven't used it, so let's try this. Oh, I think I squeezed it too hard. There it is. Okay, first impressions on the concealer. I don't like the sponge tip applicator. I don't like that sponge tip applicator. It's hard. It reminds me of the Milani one. The Milani has a concealer that has this type of sponge applicator. I don't really like it very much. I think it's just a little bit hard and difficult to spread the product. You can dot it on and that works better. I think it is a straight up medium coverage. It feels lightweight. I think application with a sponge, I always apply with a sponge because I have dry skin, is best for if you have dry skin or dry under eye. I like it. It's like straight up medium coverage. Let me see if I can zoom you in a little bit. This is a new camera, so maybe you see that? You can still see my darkness a little bit right here. But it is, I think it's beautiful. It's not emphasizing lines. Every concealer is going to settle into fine lines. I mean, that's the way it is. But this one is very lightweight. I think this one, let me zoom out a little bit. This one is very lightweight. I'm really liking it. It feels creamy, but at the same time it sort of disappears on you. That's what it is. It kind of disappears, but it gives you coverage. So I'm liking this concealer so far. I'm really liking it. Okay, so I am going to do the rest of my makeup and I will be back to give you my final thoughts. So I lied to you. I did come back. I am going to come back, or I am back. Oh my gosh, I cannot talk. I am back with my final thoughts on this, or my final first impressions on this foundation and concealer. I am loving the foundation. Everything applied on top very nicely. You know, I used my regular bronzer that I use. I used this new Neutrogena blush, not new, it was on sale, so I bought it. It's not new, but it's beautiful. I used that, and then my highlighter. Everything went on really, really pretty. And I am loving how it looks. I'm not loving the concealer so much. Like I said, I have mature skin, so I do have fine lines under my eyes, and this is emphasizing that. I think that I set it a little bit too strongly, like I put a little bit too much powder under my under eye to set it, and I think that caked it up a little bit. And that's why you are seeing, like, let me see if I can zoom this in. That's why you're seeing, like right here, let me see if you can see it. Like right here, you're seeing that in that it is settling pretty heavily in that fine line, in that wrinkle. So the concealer I am not loving so much. I think that if I put it on, it's very molding, it's very liquidy almost. So the concealer, I still have to give it a few tries. It is breathable, it is lightweight and all that. I think you just have to set it very lightly so that it doesn't cake up. Okay, so I lied in that I totally forgot that I had this eyeshadow palette that I showed you that I am loving, and so I am going to be doing a quick look with it. I just want to have my first impressions and show you what these are. I am going to be inserting swatches of this palette as I go, and I think it's just beautiful. Although one thing that I will say is it doesn't have a lot of transition shades. So I think this is one that you need to pair up with another eyeshadow palette. Like for example, this one can be good if you have fair skin, however it is shimmery. This one right here is very pretty and it's matte, but it's a little bit deep. So if you're fair skin, or if you have light color skin, that might not work for you unless you use a very, very light hand. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to start with my bronzer. I'm just gonna use my, it's broken, my Essence bronzer, and I am going to put this on the crease. Okay, so I put the bronzer all over just as a transition, and I am going to go ahead and go into this color right here, the one that I said it was deep. I am going to use a light hand, and I am going to use a fluffy brush. This is from BH Cosmetics. It comes in a set of 7 and it is well worth it. And I'm going to lightly, I'm going to tap the excess off, and I'm going to put this in my crease. Okay, with the light hand, that color is so pretty in the crease, at least for my skin tone. And I do have pigmented eyelids. I primed with my Essence I Love Color brightening primer, and that takes away some of that pigmentation, but I love that color. Okay, so I am going to go into this color right here. Is totally calling my name. That one right there is so beautiful. Those oranges, bronzies, just call my name. Actually, I'm gonna use my finger. Would have wanted that color to be a little bit more pigmented. However, you can take your brush and you can wet it a little bit. I have a wipe here, so I'm gonna wet it a little bit, and I am going to try it like that. And see, it does get more metallic. This color is beautiful. It's just a little bit more subtle than it looks like in the pan or on the swatch, but it is beautiful. Okay, so as just to deepen up the outer V, I am going to take, oh my gosh, these two last colors right here are so beautiful. This one is, I want to say that it has a little bit of shimmer, but this one is matte. So I am going to take that lighter color, and I'm going to take this Real Techniques tapered blending brush, and I'm going to deepen. Okay, I'm going to take that same brush, and I'm going to go into the deepest, I want to say that it's a chocolate brown with purple undertone, and it looks like a really deep purple, but when you swatch it, it looks brown. So I'm going to take that matte shade with the same brush, and I am going to deepen even more that outer V. Okay, as a last step, I wanted to use as many shades as I could because I wanted to give you a good first impressions. So I am going to, as a last step, going to go ahead and take a small smudge brush, and I'm going to work on the lower lash line. I'm just going to take a mix of these two colors right here, the darkest ones, and I'm just going to work this on the very outer third of my lower lash line. I want to deepen that up and make the eye elongated a little bit. And I'm not going to do anything more to my lower lash line. What I'm going to do now is I am going to actually take that same brush and I'm going to go into very, oh my gosh, this is so frosted, so pretty. It is like a stark white. And I am going to put this in my inner corner to brighten up. Okay, that white shade is no joke. It is not playing. So I was gonna put a little bit of that on my under my brow bone, but now I'm scared. I'm scared. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this fluffy brush. I'm gonna take just a tiny bit of it, and I'm gonna pop this right here. Okay guys, my final thoughts. I think this eyeshadow palette is very good. I think it's an eyeshadow palette that you may have to pair with another one because you might need transition shades depending on your skin color, on your eyelid color as well. You might have very pigmented or not pigmented eyelids, and so makeup is very personal. So it's going to depend on that, but I think the colors are really pretty. You can totally go from neutral, this gold shade right here is no joke. It's very, very pretty. The white shade is very, very pretty. You can pair, like for bold looks, you can pair that gold with that blue. Beautiful. If you want me to do a bold look with this, please comment and I will do it. I love bold colors. Actually, I have planned a video on doing a video with just kind of ranking my bright colored palettes because I'm on this I'm on this thing with bright color palettes, and so if you want to see something like that, let me know and I can create a bright color video for you. So actually, let me go ahead. I'm gonna test this a little bit. I'm gonna take that blue shade and I'm gonna pop it. Oh yes, it gave it a really pretty pop right there. It gave it such a pretty pop of color. I love that shade, very pigmented. Okay, I'm gonna stop playing with it. All right, so my final thoughts. I love the foundation. I think it's very, very good for every day. The concealer, the jury's still out. I need to test it a little bit more. The eyeshadow, I love. Rimmel eyeshadows for me wear well throughout the day. So my first impressions on this one is that the colors are bold, they are good. There's one that's a little bit powdery, but overall for the price, this was like $4 with a coupon. It's just wonderful. And so everything that I used is going to be listed down below. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for sticking with me, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye bye.